The deployment option for Oracle is an important step to actually get the application on the road and running. So this is the section where it talks about how to make the deployment. When you develop an application builder, you create the application with a specific workspace. Each workspace has a unique ID and name. A common scenario is to create the application in a development instance and then deploy it to a production instance. During the deployment process, you must decide whether you want to use the existing application ID, the existing workspace, the existing database, the existing Oracle HTTP server, or create new ones. So it means we can change any one of these and create new ones. Deployments to consider are create application express end user. The simplest way to deploy an application is to create application express end users and then send the URL and login information to user. The approach works well for application with a small and tolerant user population. So it says that I should also check about publishing the application database application URL. So what I did is I clicked on this and moved on to the next page where it talked about the deployment. Let me reopen this. Here it says that I should type in apex.somewhere, which means your application server name.com. If you have a domain /pls/apex f/f $p is equal to, this is the application ID, this is the page number, and this is the session ID that is assigned once the application is executed. So here it says, f$p is prefix used for Oracle Apex application express. This is the application being called, and one is the page number, and here it's the session ID that is generated at the time. So this is how we deploy an application. Excuse me. Use the same workspace and same schema. Export and then import the application and install it using a different application ID. This approach works well when there are few changes to the underlying object but frequent changes to the application functionality. Use a different workspace and same schema. Export and then import the application in different workspace. This is an effective way to prevent a production application from being modified by developers. Use a different workspace and different schema. Export and then import the application into a different workspace and install it so that it uses a different schema. This new schema will need to have the database objects required by your application. See using the object dependency report. So use a different workspace and different schema altogether, which I think is going to create a lot of headaches, particularly when we are learning this tool. Use a different database with all its variables. Export and then import the application to a different Oracle application express instance and install it using a different schema and database. So this section was only about deploying the application, and we will have some more sections on other topics.